Hey you guys, it's Lynnea, and I am so excited to be the July guest designer for InkOn3. So today I'm going to be creating a couple of cards with their products, and I'm starting out here with the My Little Catfish stamp set. So I love that this stamp set has a couple little catfish images, and I love that the catfish is like a mermaid cat. So I have the smallest and the medium little catfish images here and some Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to fill up a background with those two little images. So I thought that it was a little light and I wasn't sure how this card was going to end up, so I also stamped a second background using the Worn Lipstick ink. And actually in the end I ended up making two cards with these backgrounds. So now I am stamping out the largest image from the My Little Catfish stamp set, and I'm using some InkOn3 Blackout Detail ink. This is my new go-to black ink for alcohol marker coloring. It dries pretty much instantly, and it's a super black, crisp ink. I'm just in love with it. So another thing that I love about this stamp set is that you can, the catfish image doesn't have a face on it, and then there's three little faces that you can actually stamp onto it. I loved this little one with the closed eyes and the little eyelashes, so I stamped that on both of my images. So I'm going to go in with some quick alcohol marker coloring, and this is super quick. It's easy, effortless blending. I'm using my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. The lavender blend is what I started off here with. Started with the dark, blended out to the medium, and then to the light, and then I wanted to deepen that color a little bit, so I went back in a second time. And I thought that it would be so cool to have a little bit of like a teal color at the bottom, so I grabbed my blue turquoise blend, and I took the light color and blended from the bottom of the tail up into the purple. And then I'm using the same thing, the dark, the medium, the light at the bottom for the bottom fin. And I am going to color both of these images the same exact way. So I'm only keeping the coloring for one in because the second one is going to be the same. For the actual body of the cat, I'm using a brown-gray marker and a little bit of coral at the ears, and then I'll come back in and do the cheeks in a little bit too. So I started out by outlining the image with the darkest color, as well as adding some darkness underneath the little paws there for a shadow. I trimmed them out, and now I have some die cuts here to start building up my cards. The one on the left is fairly simple, just an oval scallop die cut, and actually this is the panel that I cut that out of. So I'm going to use that for my super light background, and I thought that I would bring in some more of that Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink. So I have a blending brush, and I'm just going from the inside of the circle, or the oval rather, to the outside. And I'm doing my best to use a light hand. I get awfully heavy-handed with my ink blending, so I'm doing my best just to add a light covering of ink. I'm grabbing a sentiment from the Dragon stamp set, and I love that these stamp sets could kind of go together. It says, "Have a magical day," and since these are like little mermaid catfish, I thought that this would be a perfect sentiment for this. And I'm trying to really stock up on my stock of birthday cards because I always find myself needing birthday cards, and I thought this would make an adorable little birthday card. So I have everything popped up with foam tape. I kind of wedged that sentiment strip underneath the foam tape on the catfish image. I will just line that up with my T-square ruler and then trim off the excess, and that will be the end of putting that card together. So now I have some liquid pixie dust, and this is a trick that I saw when I was at Junkie Fest from Florette, the owner of InkOn3. She put her liquid pixie dust right into a water brush, and it works so well. My 3-year-old son was using it before I did, so there was a little bit excess on the brush, but that's okay. I just kind of picked it up with a towel there. So I'm going to add this liquid pixie dust all over both of my catfish images, and then you're going to see in a minute here I also added it around the outside of my die cut images. And that is it for these two cards today. You can head over to the InkOn3 blog to see some more still photos. Thank you all for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Bye!